Good evening, everyone. Welcome to you all in my third panel discussion program. Previously, we have done two panel discussion, which was based on all educational topics. The first one was on the which one to choose, the English language or the vernacular medium of instructions, and that was successfully done, and it was liked by many people. The second one was on how to compensate the learning losses which the student faced during the COVID-19. Now, today we have taken again a very burning topic from the long time, and it is gradually increasing. Nobody is trying to address this issue. People are taken this very seriously, and it has developed a kind of mathephobia. Students in the childhood, when they come to know about the mathematics, they start having a kind of fear to take up the subjects, and they make wrong decision in sometimes. Okay, when I met with various students, they said that if you talk about math, I'm not there, because he has been given such information from the childhood, and he still this fear phobia is continuing in him. So we have taken up this case to discuss over here, and for that I have brought from various parts of the country and here in Dubai, learned scholar, learned mathematicians to discuss about this problem, how to whether there is any reality in mathophobia, or kind of that the subject is very difficult, or it is just like a myth. So we are going to discuss this with our guest, the distinguished guest over here. And before I move forward, I must introduce them, and I will be giving their introduction very brief, because they are all learned scholar. If you just type their name in the Google, you can be able to find every information about them. Because of the time constraint, we will be moving directly to the problem that we have taken to address that. So let's now, I take you first of all to the Aligarh, a famous city in India, where there is a university called Aligarh Muslim University. There have been a professor who has a great scholarly reputations in all over the world. He has been awarded many awards, but to mention a few, he has been awarded as a distinguished scientist in 2020, as well as Asian Education Award for contribution to education community in 2020. In addition to this, there are many awards which you can refer to if you go to his CV. When you Google him, his field of specialization is general relativity and differential geometry. He has published more than 7 books, but one of the book is very famous, which has been published 17th editions, and it has been introduced in many universities as a textbook. He has written more than 105 research scholarly papers in high index journals, and he has been invited more than 100 places where he has been given a talk, as well as he has presented his paper in seminar and conducted conference and joined conference. And at the same time, in doing so, he has visited many countries. He has visited. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Zafar Ahsan. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. You have found your time, available time you have given to us. We are honored to have you in this program. Now, I would like to come back to the place where I am at the moment. There is a professor of mathematics who is multi-talented persons. Her hobbies are more thing to mention than her scholarly articles. He has already written more than 32 research papers in a distinguished journals. But I like in her that she has been doing many administrative job, and at the same time she is dean of the student welfare. And also, to mention the more important thing is, she has a hobby, and she likes doll making, singing, dancing, swimming, badminton, stitching, embroidery, gardening, toy making, reading, and rifle shooting. It is hard to believe, but it is the fact. So what I'm ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Professor Priti Bajpai of BITS Pilani. Welcome, Dr. Priti Bajpai. You've managed to find some time to give us. I hope that your presence and your contribution to the discussion will make a lot of difference. Those who are learners who are listening to us, and the faculty members who are also trying to get benefit, hope they will surely be benefited. Now I will take you to a place which is very famous. It was the capital of India during the British time. I take you to the Kolkata, where there is a professor who has also written as many as more than 20 research articles in a distinguished journals. He has been a member also. He has organized conferences also, and he has guided more than 3 or 4 students to their PhD course. Okay, he has also completed project works given from the UGC, and he has been assigned a lot of academic administrative activities, and he's been doing successfully to this. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you. Please welcome Dr. Sheikh Monowar Hossein from Aliah University, Kolkata. And at the last, I would like to let you again to near to the Calcutta airport. There is a lady professor. Okay, she is at the young age. She has done a lot of achievement. She is assistant professor, and he was sometimes before she was a head of department, but now she is left herself at that post, and now she is an assistant professor in Kingston School of Management and Science in Kolkata. She has published at this young age of 30 years, 17 papers. She has organized 24 seminars and workshop attended. She is a reviewer of as many as 20 journals and has been awarded National Award Fellowship. Ladies and gentlemen, and I will request you to welcome Dr. Magfura. Please, I cannot see you, Dr. Magfura. Put your camera on. Yeah, please welcome Dr. Magfura.
Thank you.
Dr. Magfura Pervin. So welcome, doctor. You also managed to find time for us. We are thankful and honored by the presence of all the distinguished mathematicians. I think this is going to be a very, very good sessions. Now I will be, before I move forward to run the program smoothly and in a disciplinary way, there is a system to select a president of the program or the chairperson of the program. So I'm going to propose the name of the Professor Zafar Ahsan. Sir, please take up the presidency and run this program. The program is for you, sir.
Second your proposal from my heart.
So now, sir, you are the president of this program, and I will be following you. So if you allow me to move forward, then I will go with your permission, sir.
Okay, sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now I would like to explain the format of the program. The format of program is to run into 3 sessions. The first session will be, I will be asking question to our panelist, and he will be explaining the answer according to his experience and knowledge. And then I will be giving the audience a chance to ask question to our panelists, to all the panelists or any particular panelist. Okay, and this will, after this, there will be time for the president to give a concluding remarks, and finally I will be thanking you all for participation and declare the program closer. So now without delay, it is the high time to start. So I will be starting my first question to Dr. Priti Bajpai. Dr. Priti Bajpai, my first question is going to be with you, that we are discussing about the perception that math is a hard subject. Okay, so the first question that comes to in our mind is, what is that in mathematics which is not in the other subject and makes it difficult? Okay, or you can put it that what are the things which can make what you can do to make it understanding easier. So whichever way you take it, this is the question to you. Over to Dr. Priti Bajpai.
Good evening to all.
Yeah.
My
evening.
esteemed panelists and all the participants, a very good evening, and thanks Dr. Reyaz Ahmad for giving me a chance to be a part of this. First of all, I personally feel that maths is not a difficult subject. It's all about interest. So we all are born differently. We all have different interests. Some people have a natural inclination, for mathematics. Since their birth, we have some, examples like that. All the famous mathematicians, if we take names of all our Indian mathematicians, take the case of Ramanujan. So these are gifted people who are born with this, natural talent for maths. The other thing is, I personally believe that it's all about interest. If we have interest in one particular subject, we find it easy. If we don't have, we find it difficult. And, if you look at maths itself, Dr. Zafar Ahsan, your subject was differential geometry. I had that as a compulsory subject in my master's, and I used to find it very, very tough. So within maths also, if we are not interested in something, we start losing interest and we say it is difficult. So that's my perception about mathematics. And, maths is a subject which, like any other subject, needs lot of practice. Your fundamentals have to be very, very clear from the very beginning. And if you think that, we can just start doing mathematics at any stage, that's not possible. As in our childhood, we are taught addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And if those are very clear to us, then only we can proceed to difficult problems. And if we have patience, if we don't avoid hard work, if we don't mind taking challenges, maths can be very, very interesting, and it wouldn't be tough at all.
Very good, doctor. Very good. Very good. You have already pointed out, like anything you want to do, you must have interest and attention at the same time. So interest and attention are the two keywords that in the education system is very important for students. So you have already, now I will pass on the same question to Dr. Sheikh Monowar Hossein. What, according to you, you feel that makes mathematics difficult? Is the subject itself, or you think it is a method of teaching which makes it difficult, or there is some kind of student side interest, attention that the Dr. Priti Bajpai pointed out? So you have been given a lot of domain, so you can address all these whatever you like. So over to Dr. Monowar Hossein.
Thank you, Reyaz sir, for giving me such an opportunity. And good evening, everyone. Actually, I want to add on something to with Priti madam and differ something.
Yeah.
It is basically the saddest reality that the subject is deemed to be difficult. There are enormous reasons why this subject is so difficult. Now, in my opinion, a subject becomes difficult if we don't understand it properly. Now, understanding is nothing but the ability to change our perspective. So, understanding mathematics is not understanding only the operations, addition, multiplication, or something else, or functions, algebra, geometry, calculus, and all of that stuff. But if you understand mathematics and its essence, you have to do with some patterns. And secondly, actually, Priti ma'am partially pointed out that reasons. Basically, mathematics demands a lot of patience and persistence to understand it. And in my opinion, third point is that it requires an ability to view a problem from different perspective. If we can look at a problem from different angles, then it will be very easier, and basically math demands that from us. And fourth thing is that as mathematics demand logic and multi-step analysis, it becomes difficult to understand for some students. Basically, there are some study on this question, and recently in 2020, there was one study in the International Journal of English and Education on these questions by Mauricia A. Langoban of Philippines. According to her study, there are three major themes and their core ideas why mathematics is more difficult for the student. Basically, the outcomes of the study has revealed that it mainly depends on the three things. One is delivery of instruction by the teachers. Second is learning ability and experiences of the students. And third is school environment and facilities provided to the students. It was a study and that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Doctor. You also pointed out a few things, okay? Like you have already accepted that there is some problem as the research suggests that in instruction, how the instruction is being given to the students. So you are trying to tell that it's not only the subject is difficult, there is a method of teaching is also affecting the learning process of the student and making it difficult for them to understand. And learning ability is another thing, but the learning ability can be improved. We have seen that at the age of 5, a student cannot run like a student of 7. But if he is made to practice, he can beat him after 6 months. So there is something called the persistent training for that. If the students are being given a chance to or trained in that way, there is a chance that they can also improve that one. So learning ability can be improved. Okay, subject is considered to be the difficult, and instruction, these things come into the so far in our discussion. And also you have pointed out the environment should be supportive for study. So now I will try to move to Dr. Magfura. What's your opinion in the light of what we discussed now, why mathematics is considered to be a hardest subject in your according to your experience or your observation? Please explain to our audience. Over to Dr. Magfura.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, so first, I want to thank Dr. Reyaz Ahmad. He has given me such an opportunity to explore myself here.
Thank you.
Okay, so actually the things which is discussed by Dr. Monowar and Dr. Priti, all the things are correct.
Yes.
Just I want to add some more points that I think that one of the biggest reason why students find maths harder is because they don't understand the real value of mathematics in their daily life. And their attitudes becomes harder from school level. From school level, when they are asking the real life application of mathematics, they are not getting the real answer from their parents, from the school level teachers also. That's why they are actually they are finding that math is a very hard subject. And suppose if a child is questioning about the real life applications or real life values of math, our responsibility is that to explore that why they think that there is no real life value of mathematics. So we can just discuss that there are several opportunities. Actually, you can get better job opportunities in your life when you are dealing with math. As maths is an STEM subject, so it has so many demands, and in daily life, that if a child can go through maths, they can give that plenty of opportunities in future. So this can attract them to read the mathematics. Second is better money management. if actually they are dealing with math, so if they try to understand math, just like the topics interest, budgeting, etc., so they can save and manage their money more efficiently, meaning more opportunities for them to enjoy their favorite things also. If they practice math, their computational skill will get better. So math is a great way to develop their technical skills also, such as in computer science, robotics, engineering. So they can apply that. And the next thing is that problem solving skill. As when they are dealing with maths, their skill is definitely, it will be better, and so they will able to think analytically in every aspect if they are dealing with math. So I think they can help to find better in reasoning, and that help them to make better decisions in your life also. So I think if this thing will be clear to all the students, they will find interest in mathematics. So this is my opinion about that.
Thank you very much, Doctor. You have also pointed out a few important things. According to you, what you are saying that because the students has not been made to understand the real value of mathematics in their life, they are not able to connect what they are learning in the school is relevant for their real life. So that's why there is a gap existing. So they are not able to connect. So this could be one of the reasons for them to not understanding. This could be a reason. And you are also suggesting that we as a teacher must be trying to solve this problem in order to let them understand the importance of mathematics. But for anything, if the students or anyone understand the importance, people keep waking up whole night in order to do his job night shift just because he will be given money. So you have to relate that what he's going to get from this. So this is what is missing in our learning process and teaching and learning process, as you pointed out. So you are also have mentioned that mathematics is essential for future studies, and it is contributing to many other branches. Without mathematics, you cannot move forward. And nowadays, previously we have been listening that mathematics and biology is completely different subject. Students were bifurcated, they go to the physical science or biological science, but now all these barrier has been moved, and now mathematics is being used in biology more than any other areas. There has been now health department is using a lot of mathematics, but thing is that all these messages are not being conveyed to the student, as you pointed out. That's why their interest and attention is not there. In my opinion, there is also one more thing. Like, for example, the parent as the perception, parent and their elder brothers and the teachers has also created a math phobia, and they always claim if a child talk to his older brother, he will say math is very hard. Okay, no way. The teacher also, when a teacher when also meet with the students, they tell their parent, okay, take care of this, give him tuition for the math, otherwise he will not be able to succeed. The students are listening all these things, and at the same time, if he is shown an apple, then he can say A for apple, because he has a previous experience of knowing apple. Then he can easily connect A for apple. But how he will connect one, how he will connect two? You are telling him in one, you are telling me two. He is not able to connect, because the knowledge goes always from known to unknown and simple to complex. For the child in the early stage, there's nothing known for him before when he goes to start learning numbers. He has nothing. He has to just he is forced to remember 1, 2, 3 like that. So he's not able to connect. So that abstraction has to be addressed at the early stage to let the student understand that this is although when he's writing any language, he is drawing a line. He's drawing 3 lines, one line like this, another line like this, another like this. He's making it, but he's not knowing it. This is a part of mathematics. He's learning language, he's learning everything, but he's using mathematics. He's not made known. You cannot write you cannot write anything without the use of mathematics. So this kind of abstraction, to some extent, and the non-trained teachers, as well as the sincerity of the parent and over excessive negative approach of the parent, altogether have made a kind of creating environment or created a perception that math is very tough subject. But actually it is not. You cannot dispose of mathematics from your life. Even the beauty is defined by mathematics. What is this vital statistics? Vital statistics is a number. So you are defining beauty, even which you people previously says that quality is different, quantity is different. But now all the qualities are ranked. Somebody is honest, then you are given now 1, 2, 3, 4. You are ranking the honesty, which is quality, which is not a quantity. So all these wrong perceptions has added a lot of problem for the students in understanding the mathematics. Now we have to find the solution. The problem we have already addressed. We have understood these are the problems. Now I will be moving again further to Dr. Priti Bajpai, that how to make the mathematics easier. What should be the method of teaching you would like to suggest our audience and the fellow panelists and the students or learners, which will make the understanding of mathematics easier to the student. Over to Dr. Bajpai.
As I said in the beginning, it's all about interest in a subject. So as teachers, if we create interest in mathematics, naturally students will like it. And we are, as a teacher, responsible to some extent when students run away from the subject or they are not able to understand it. So if you see, as a child in the school, maths, when it is taught, we are taught methods. This is how you multiply. This is how you subtract. The whole process is so mechanical and students find it so repetitive. Every day they have to sit and do the questions that they lose interest. The method of delivery itself is by the teachers faulty. If we can, explain questions using some real life examples, I'm sure, if some story is added to that, children will be interested, and everything starts from the childhood, because if you have some interest at the very beginning, you can always, pursue that later on. So let me give you an example. Who hasn't heard about Bhaskaracharya, the famous mathematician? He wrote a book, Lilavati. And that book, as the legend goes, he wrote it for his daughter, whose name was Lilavati. That whole book, it was followed, in the Arab world, it was used as a textbook. Why? Because it was written in a poetic form. All the examples of that book were so beautifully written. He starts with, "Oh, swan-eyed girl." He's referring to his daughter. And I'll just quote one example. He says that, see how he puts the example. He says that there are a number of swans who are swimming in the lake. 7 times the square root, and half of that, they left the lake and they have gone towards the bank. 2 of them are still in the lake. How many of them were there? So, if you present a problem like this to a child, which is the formative years for a child to have interest in a subject, their minds start thinking. Because as human beings, we are all interested in stories and anecdotes. So if from the beginning, if we give the questions in such a way that they are not monotonous, they are not dry, and they're not repetitive, like we are going on doing addition and subtraction, naturally interest can be created. And I don't think that, as you yourself said, Dr. Reyaz, and even Dr. Magfura said, interest can be created in a subject. So that is, as a teacher, we have to make it interesting. It should not be, and at higher level, we enter the classroom and we start writing theorems. We start giving proofs. When we all did our masters in mathematics, mathematics, and later on, if you remember, the proofs were 2 pages, 3 pages, which was so monotonous. So that is what I personally feel. We have to change the way we teach.
Well, thank you very much, Doctor. You have again pointed out, and repeatedly you have been insisting on creating the interest. So interest is the key idea for you. If it is developed in the student, then the student will surely start understanding better. But there is a question also, as you pointed out, how to create the attention. This is the most important thing. So you have pointed out that by storytelling, it can be done. It can be achieved, that student will be develop the curiosity, start thinking, because you have to make the student think. And thinking is the key of learning mathematics. Without thinking, nowadays we are already teaching student critical thinking. Thinking, if not there, how you will think critically. So that's what you are actually pointing out. Many people. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Doctor.
one more. Encouragement. I feel I have seen with my own teaching experience of more than 30 years, almost 32, 33 years of experience, encouragement plays a very, very important role. If we encourage students, parents encourage their children, I think we can bring a big difference.
Correct, you are. So you are also suggesting that some students may not be able to understand. So we should try to encourage him, even if he is failure, he's not able to do. So we must encourage him to understand, okay, this time you could not do, next time you will surely be able to do. Not everybody can catch the train, the first compartment, but even of the one who take up the seat in the last compartment, but reaches the same destination. So you can make the student understand by this way. Yeah, the valuable thing that you have added over here is the students' encouragement is good. Okay, now there is one issue, the most important issue. All these things are depending upon the teacher himself. Now you know very, very well that nowadays every government, every part of the world, the teachers training a number of years has been increased, and teachers has to take the teachers training, then only he will be allowed to teach, because the future of the generation is in their hand. But do you think that all the teachers are really qualified enough to impart the education as the student deserve, or as they are paying for to receive? Is there any kind of deprivation over there, a kind of shortage over there? According to your experience, I would like to ask this question to Dr. Sheikh Mansoor, sir.
Thank you. Actually, that's a debatable thing. One thing is that in my personal opinion,
yeah,
to be a teacher, you have to be motivated. First
correct.
of all, not only that, when we are going to teach mathematics, first, I have to love mathematics, and I have to spread my aura to all the students. And the presence of teacher with this aura always motivates some students. As it is a sensitive case, and everyone sensitivity is not equal, therefore it makes difficult as teacher to teach mathematics with this sensitivity. Now, one thing is that, first of all, not only teachers, if it is motivation depends on many things. First of all, their not only their background, there are some trainings, and this training is not only what given by our classical training. This trainings comes from his or her teachers, parents, environments, and everywhere. And this is basically depends persons to persons, and everyone who is teaching it, they have his or her own teaching capacity. No, and when we are going to class to teach someone, every time we are not getting the same students. And all the students have different sensitivity. First of all, a teacher first must have to realize to whom we are going to teach and what I am going to teach. Therefore, understanding of teacher with the student and the bonding that makes easier to teach this subject. And one thing is that, first it's my perception that mathematics basically is not everyone's cup of tea. Now, I think mathematics is for those who has some common sense, and all of we know that we all of have common sense. So to explore this common sense and to explore everything with real fields, as Magfura madam already this pointed out. Therefore, if we can relate students with his surroundings through mathematics, then I think it will be much better to grasp the subject and to be interested, as Priti madam suggested.
So,
And-
Doctor, from your point, 2-point come that you are to some extent giving responsibility to the student. At the same time, you are trying to tell the level of delivery by the teachers. So you are trying to give responsibility to both of them. Okay, that's okay. At the same time, as you said, I have some experience that the mathematical ability is embedded in every human being, embedded, inbuilt. Like if it is not the case, you go and give your child 5 chocolates, okay? Give him and ask him to distribute among his 5 brothers, okay? Just tell him to give your brothers, okay? He doesn't know how to speak, but you will be sure that he is delivering one chocolate to each one. Nobody taught him how to divide, but look, he already knows how to do the division. So the mathematical ability is already embedded in every human being. If it is not the case, there are some people who never went to the school. He doesn't have taken any education, but he has a big factories under whom thousands of people are working, and he is signing his check by thumb impressions. So who makes him to understand and run this big business, manage his finance and all these? So mathematics as an ability is embedded almost in every human being. This is what I can perceive, I can think. But as Dr. Magfura has said last time, that you are also supporting that the real value of mathematics can only be explained to the students if he realize the importance of that. But there are some students, as Dr. Monowar also pointed out, some are basically he's very intelligent, talented to grasp, and some are dull. And there is a study that there are some people who are left brain and the right brain. Left brain peoples they have nothing to do. He has got his physical physiology like that. He is left brain, another is right brain. Left brain people has been seen to be doing good in mathematics while the others not. So how this blame can go to the students as well as to the teachers if there is a physiological intervention over there. So just I would like you, Magfura, whatever you can from your experience, share with us your opinion.
Okay. So I personally believe that there is nothing about left brain or right brain.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
It's actually mathematics is nothing but creativity. So creativity does not depend on the left brain or right brain. Mathematical thinking always requires the creativity, and for being a creative, you have to use all portion of the brain. Actually, we all know that our brain is consisting near about 100 billions of neurons.
Correct.
And also it's It's using all of his fully activity when you are teaching. So it's not depending on the left brain, right brain. It's totally depending on the teacher, as well as there are some responsibility of the parents also to describe that how a child will take the mathematics subject. Okay, so for mentioning that, actually I want to say something that I believe that mathematics is about words. If you think that if you understand the words, you can teach the mathematics. As for example, I'm giving some personal opinion. Actually, before joining Kingston, I was acting as an assistant teacher in a school. And in that school, I was teaching a 5th grade class. Okay, and they have a lesson plan. And that in that lesson plan, there was a puzzle game, and the puzzle game is about to solve the puzzle game by defining 50 new words. So when I was entering in the class to solve that puzzle game, I am asking them to solve the puzzle game, but all of the students, including the best one also, she is not responding. Okay, so one of the students, one of the good students asked me to define one word. Okay, so I asked her to say it loudly. So she loudly asked me to define one word. So I defined one word from mathematics, but it's defined loudly in the class. So first she tried to understand. Now one of the boys, he is asking the girl that what ma'am is saying. So the girl, which I have already taught him, she is defining the words to the boys. And by this process, the interest grow to all in between all the students, and they are asking themselves that about some new words. And after at the end of the class, I see that all the 50 new words, they have invented all the 50 new words, and they have learned and solved the puzzle also. One more thing is that I was in a class of a 7th standard class, and there one student is facing some difficulties in her assignment. So I asked her that what you are facing. So she's saying that I asked her that to choose any one of the assignments. So she chose one of the assignments. She thinks that it's the hardest one. Okay, so I asked her that define a word which you are not understanding from the assignment. She said loudly that she is not understanding any one of the words. That means later I discovered that she don't know what is multiplication. She don't know what is number. She don't know what is unit. So first I have started with unit. Then I go to the number. Then I go to multiplication. And she has got some interest. And after going some interest, I feel that she is solving all the assignments even faster than me. So I can understand that she has grown some interest. As ma'am Priti ma'am have already said that mathematics is all about interest, and obviously the teaching capacity, teaching capability of the teacher also. So if we can grow interest in between students, they will solve the mathematics. So it's not depending on left brain or right brain. It's only the thing that is interest. And our responsibility as a teacher, our responsibility is to grow that interest among the students. Then they will solve it. And very easily, they can go better than us also. So it's my opinion.
Okay, that's very good. Yeah, you have already rejected the opinion that left brain or right brain has to do anything for the achievement of mathematical achievement for the students. That's good. That's good. As according to your experience, nobody can deny that the persistent study and the hard work. Okay, it is said that Aristotle used to talk about his philosophy to his ram. Okay, it was later seen that when he started speaking to the goat, he was also shaking his head as if he's understanding.
One more thing is that one more thing is that actually this concept of left brain and right brain, this is actually invented in the 18th century. And I think in 1960s, we all know the story of Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde.
Yes.
And here we can see that there is a concept of left brain and right brain, and from that perception it's going through. But it's a myth. It's a myth and scientifically proved also.
Correct. You are. So now we have come to the point that interest is the most important. The teacher's quality of delivering the subject is another important factor. And also it has also come to my notice that you are talking about the environment is also important. The stakeholders must provide the environment feasible for the environment in which the student can study properly. And you also suggested the teacher must make the environment in such a way the students develop the attention, and you are suggesting that there will be a storytelling type of presentation of the lectures. All these come at while discussion with you all so far. Now, finally, I would like to ask with all of you that what according to you is the most important thing to make the mathematics liked, understood, appreciated, accepted by all the stakeholders, from the students to teachers to the parent. So any one of you can answer, and then it will go to the other one. To start with, I can go over to Dr. Priti. Once again to you, what is your final opinion regarding this?
So I'll stick to the same thing. We have to remove this stigma which is put on the subject.
Correct.
It's not at all difficult. It is like any other subject. So we have to improve the way we teach. We have to do some soul searching and see as teachers whether we are, reaching that outcome or not. Are we being able to make the students, understand? Are we being able to create that interest? That is one thing. And then I would also say that more real life examples have to be given. It should not be just, teaching and delivering the lecture and coming out of the class. We have to connect what we are teaching, bridge the gap between what we are teaching and what is being practiced in real life. And removing this another stigma of or the belief that right hand and left hand brains, they are for different people. I don't believe that. I'm myself very, very creative. I have been involved in so many creative things, which people from my institute who are there, so many of them have joined. They know that in every art exhibition, I have a corner for myself. So I think that as Dr. Magfura had said, being a mathematician has helped me in my creative pursuits. So that belief also has to be changed. Because when we instill that in children, oh, you are made for arts, or you are made for languages, or you are made for that, that's not true. So as I said, we have to do some soul searching and change the way we teach. And
thank you
put
very
all
much.
our
Doctor.
efforts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Now I will pass on this to Dr. Monowar, if you want to add anything. Okay, before we want to go for the allowing a student to ask question quickly.
Actually, as I've already mentioned,
Yeah.
mathematics is from different point of views we can see it, and to be interested to the students mathematics, first of all we have to change their views towards mathematics.
Correct, right?
And,
you are.
and not only that, not only views, every expression and every, say, as mathematics is abstract science, it with some symbols and some expressions. Every expression, every symbols have different visualization.
Correct.
And this visualization, not only that, that means every expression has some metaphors.
Correct.
If some students try to understand that, and as a teacher, we help them to some extent to use that metaphors, then it will make some interesting. But I have some negative minds. What is that? Now, as mathematics is a mind, it actually it involves emotion, and as involves emotion and emotions differs from man to man, I think we can solve this problem that mathematics is harder or something, some subject is harder. We can remove it to up to some extent. Because when say we are not teaching individuals, we are teaching say some 60 or 50 or 100 students. They have different emotions and they are different thinking mind. So therefore, I think to some extent we can remove this, but until all perspective, all views towards mathematics and how we can understand mathematics, we can change to all the persons. I think it's not possible to all, as it is a very popular subject. Interest, different persons have different type of interest. And so I think it's not possible for anything to be interested for all. And thanks you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. You have already pointed very, very good points. Now it is our time to go to the next session, where I will be allowing my audience to ask questions to our panelists. So anyone from the audience, you can come forward and unmute yourself and ask your question to a particular or to all the audience whoever want to answer. So please come forward and ask your questions. You have your time now. This is most important session.
There is a question in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
You saw that?
Research
Okay.
shows that girls tend to have less interest in maths than boys. What needs to be done to change this trend?
Yeah.
Can I answer
And
that?
we
Yes.
are all the girls. There are two girls who are present in the panel discussions and who are a professor in mathematics.
Good.
Can I answer that?
Yes. Okay. You can answer that.
Actually, girls tend to have less interest in maths. I would say that they are not encouraged. As a child, if you are a girl child, you are told it's not a feminine subject. You are a girl, you should be doing, stitching and embroidery and, cooking. So it starts from the very childhood. And I don't think that girls are any less. If you take the examples from our Indian culture, Indian history, if you see, we've had such great Indian mathematicians. If you look at Shakuntala Devi, I'm not going way back to Gargi and all this. If you look at Shakuntala Devi,
Yes,
she was a computer herself. If you look at a French mathematician, Sophie Germain, look at the interest she had. She fought against everybody. She had no encouragement, no support, but she turned out to be, and she was using a different identity. She was using a male name to present her work. She had even written to Gauss, the famous mathematician, and she had presented her work to him. So I don't think that girls are any less. They are brilliant. They can handle mathematics very well. Parents should encourage them and give them a chance. I have my mathematician friend from my department, Dr. Manisha, here. she would agree with me, and a brilliant mathematician herself. So Dr. Magfura is there. I have so many girl students here. Not that boys are any less. I have all, but they can do wonderful. They are very good at that. I have a student here, Anandita, who joined. She was a bio student. She had not done maths in a class 12, but she did a remedial course in maths and she got an A grade. She did so well. So girls, all they need is encouragement and support. And as you said, Dr. Reyaz, everywhere maths is being used. Maths has an interdisciplinary approach in every field now. So,
Anybody else want to add to this question from our panelists? Anybody else? Dr. Monowar, you want to add something more? Or I will pass on to other question. Is there anybody
Dr.
else
Reyaz?
who want? Yes, yes, doctor.
This is Sharif Ahmad.
Yes.
Okay, I would like to thank all of you and all
Okay,
organizers.
hold on, doctor. Hold on, doctor. Now I would like to introduce one of my colleague. Okay, you should be happy to know that this program has been approved by Math Club of our Emirates Aviation University. He is the main leader of that club. So put your camera on, doctor. Put your camera on. So let me introduce
Are
you.
you sure?
Yeah, put
You
your
sure
camera
you
on.
did?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he is
Okay.
Dr. Sharif. He is one of the important and brilliant mathematicians in our university. He is doing a lot of jobs in mathematics. He has created an organization in our university where the students are coming and students are helping them. It is just like a peer review, peer learning process we have started. There are many things to discuss because I just kept it. There are many researches going on regarding the improvement of math learning, but in 1 hour time it cannot be explained. So I just stopped. I just put myself under control. So now, Dr. Sharif, what you want to ask or you want to give suggestion, whatever?
I would like. Yeah, I would like to thank all of you first for this very important contribution and this encouraging again activities that encourage and support some other mathematicians around the world. Thank you for all of you. And my comment simply here, one of the main difficulties for mathematics is to realize the nature of mathematics. Mathematics is cumulative subject. This is a problem here. It's very important. We need the students to realize it is cumulative. It's again, we build up knowledge on previous years. Each year we're adding cumulative knowledge and interlinks among different topics. This is very important. The issues that we are not able to, or students are not able to figure out that there's interlinks between different topics and the cumulative knowledge as required is something important to be able to go through mathematical topics after year and so on. This is something very important. I don't think that many students realize this nature of knowledge of mathematics. This is something we need to stress on. It is cumulative subject. We cannot again understand the mathematics of grade 7, for example, without the knowledge of the previous, not only the grade 6. No, we need to know, to get aware, to be aware about all previous years. And this is a problem with mathematics. So we need to find some way to teach mathematics so that students are able to recall the information from previous years before, even at least through some simple examples. And the aim is to remind them with the previous knowledge. This is something I see it will be good if we try to adopt it in teaching mathematics.
So
thank you very much.
I completely agree to your opinion, Doctor, because the factor of a number gives the idea of factor of expressions. So it's always, as I told you, from known to unknown and simple to complex. This is the process of mathematics. I think our panelists, if you have to give some other opinion, then I will be moving to another session of this program where I will be asking our president to give his concluding remarks. But would anybody like to say anything more, or is there any audience who want to ask the question? Because this is the program for the audience, so you can take advantage of time if you have anything regarding math, but don't blame math after this program. If you have any question, ask your questions. Okay, and we are here to solve your problem, but never ask later on. So please come forward and ask your questions. We are here to solve any problem, but use whatever is in your mind. Yes, doctor.
Reyaz, there are two raised hands. Dr.
Okay.
Asha and Parthi.
Okay, let me see. Okay. Two is raised and
Dr. Asha and Parthi.
Oh, Dr. Asha is there. Dr. Asha, welcome.
Thank you,
Dr.
sir.
Asha is from Manipal, Manipal University. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Put your camera on, doctor.
Sure, sure.
Yes. You want to share something, please?
Actually, I have to congratulate you that this is a wonderful session. There is so many problems, so many issues with the students who is learning maths, and they are actually in a dilemma whether they have to continue it or whether they have to skip math and go for any other choices of subjects. But yes, there as you all said, the experts have suggested so many things, and everyone has said about the childhood practices or childhood training. Because of the childhood training they are getting, and that may be one of the reason for them to getting less interest in maths or scared about maths. Especially there is a fear in math for most of the students. If you consider, at least if Manohar said about the group, in a group of 60 students, if there is a 25% of students is having the issue, that means we are addressing that 25% students, the minority, but majority is able to cope up. But I have one query with the experts, that is, if sometimes we are coming across certain students who is having very good interest in maths, they might be doing very well in the class, but the problem is when they are sitting for an examination, they are getting blackout. So they will not be able to answer a single question. Sometimes we have experienced that. You also have come across with such cases. And because of that, they are not able to write the answers properly, even though they know everything. After the examination, they will say they know everything. How can we address this problem? Because of that, this situation also, the students are losing interest. They are saying that maths is getting very difficult because they are not able to score. So this case is also there, even though it is a very less percentage. But I think we have to discuss about that also. Any solution or anything from your side, from the expert side,
Okay.
it will be grateful.
So it's anyone can come forward. If not at the end, I will be trying to answer this question. But I would like you people to answer this, please.
Yes. I will.
Yes, okay.
Actually, it's the case. Some students, they are thinking that they are understanding everything. It's their thinking. And when he or she is going to write something, she or he can't write it properly. I think it's their lack of thinking. And there is a gap, what he or she can't understand. What is the gap between his or her understanding and between the subject? Therefore, there must be some gap. And understanding is not proper. And hence, I think he or she is facing this type of problem.
So according to
another
you,
thing
yes.
I want to add on, that is social thing. Some students, they come with say fear or to be some heroistic so that he or she understand everything. In his or her class, she can't express in what portion she or he is facing the problem. Not only, even not in persons, he or she is expressing his gap. Therefore, it becomes larger and larger, and after some times he or she feels
they are scared about math itself.
Anybody else want to add? Otherwise, I will take up this question. Anybody from our panelists? Okay, so look carefully, listen. There are two types of teaching: making a good student, okay, or good examinee. There are two different things. The teaching process, which is going on many parts of the world, They are just creating a good examinee without making them clearly understanding the concept. He has been trained so much that any questions that comes will be from that one, and he can deliver immediately. He has been given practice a lot. So before he start, he look the question and start writing, because he just see this question along with long time before. So if he has understood the practice the question very well, this kind of blankness will never come in the exam. Okay. The second one, we are not actually creating the good students. Good student means, as Dr. Monowar Hossein pointed out, if the student have understood the question, then he will be able to translate the word into mathematical equation properly. You can witness that the students know how to factorize. Okay, you should know how to solve quadratic equation. But if you give him a problem which end up a quadratic equation, you will find many people will not be able to do, because he has not been trained in a way how to translate this question into a equation which will end up in quadratic equation, and then they will be able to do. So I think the process of teaching need attention over here. If any student have the blank, he get blank in the exam, so he must not have practiced very well, or he has misunderstood the questions. Okay, I saw yesterday I was teaching one student. He said he was doing MSAT exam. He said I was just coaching him for MSAT. Okay, then he said, sir, everything I understand, but when I go to the exam, okay, I cannot write anything. Then I said, what did you understand then? What did you understand then? If you cannot, write, that's why we always say, if you want to learn, there's two things, reading and writing. So previously it was said that if you read something once, then write them 5 times. Okay. And if you want to be master of this, teach at least 3 times to other one. If this is happening, this process happen, then you are not going to forget your learning what you have taken. So there must be learn, then teach, learn, then write it, and then teach someone. This is the new way of making the knowledge properly understandable. And there are many researches going on this. And that is why we are develop a peer learning method. Peer learning is what? Peer learning is the teacher throw the questions, and there is 5 students in a group, 5 students in a group, okay, and they all are asked to answer. What happens in the 5 groups? They sit together and consult with them, and then write the answer. The other group write the answer, other group write the answer. Then they found that more than 50% could not do, or more than 60% could not do. Now the seat are changed. The one student who has done okay, he is meeting with the one who did wrong, and then he is asking, why did you say you write your answer this way? Then he explained this, why he write this way. So every responsibility is now going to the student itself. Okay, not to the on the head of the teacher alone. And then finally, teacher comes on the board and explain him very well. The student never forgets. That Dr. Sharif that now said, you have to relate the ideas. This relations, what you have learned before and what you are learning, not established, that then you will not be able to achieve what you are going to achieve. I think I have tried to explain, Dr. Asha, if you have anything. This is out of my experience, because I have been teaching IGCSE students and long times. I have created no student with my coaching got less than AA star. What I was doing, I was making. I have produced one student. He was the world topped in the world IGCSE, and I took his interview like a few days ago. So what I'm saying is, in the IGCSE there is no repetition of question, no repetition. Okay, so you are teaching him concept and give him so much practice that he opens the question and his pen start writing. So
Yes,
you have
so
to have
basically-
learning, writing, and teaching someone. If the student does, he will never fall blank in the exam. This is my assurance and my guarantee. So tell your student that do this one, and hopefully you will not fall blank in any exam. So I
Yeah.
think I managed to do answer this question. Anybody else want to ask question quickly? This is your time because we are running out of time now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So,
To add on that solution,
yeah.
this is a small suggestion or solution. You can take it as the students. Actually, this is for the student community. Same as whatever you have said is the concept they are understanding, and then they are solving it. That means they are considering math as a tool, not as a
Yes.
subject or
Right,
language.
you are
Even though it is a very
skill.
beautiful subject or language,
Correct.
those who are really scared of math, just consider it as a tool to solve your problem one by one, which is a very complex problem. Break it into small pieces and make it into simpler portions and solve one by one and get a solution for a complex problem. So once this thing get into your brain for the students, it will be very helpful to get rid of the fear of the math. That is my understanding according to my experience.
There is discussion on skill. Math as a skill or is a talent. So there is Aliah, so we will talk this on the another time. Okay. So now we are running out of the time. If there is anybody else to want the question, then I will. If not, then I will invite our president. Sir, please give your concluding remark to our audience and to us also, so that we can also learn something. So, Dr.
Sir, I would like to say something.
Okay.
Sir, actually, yes, ma'am. Sir, it's not a question, but as a student's point of view, I would like to put forward something.
Correct, you are. Yes,
just like the question that was asked about why boys outperform girls in maths, especially. So, as I've grown up with fellow mates who've performed very well, especially boys in maths, I think the main difference is the risk-taking factor that boys have over girls. And this factor cannot be just taught in classroom. It comes with the upbringing. Maths is all about risk taking, and what the most remarkable professors I've had over time, they've taught me one thing, that maths is not a definite technique. For maths, like if someone really likes maths, they have to understand the beauty of freedom that comes with maths. There's not a single particular way to solve any particular sum. It's not definite like history or sociology or anything like that. So this risk-taking factor, if this is taught to girls and boys equally, that, you know, there can be multiple ways to solve a single problem, I think that both can equally perform well in maths. And this is a major thing that I feel as a student. And the second thing is how beautifully a teacher can seem approachable to a student. Like more approachable a teacher is, a student can ask their doubts, their queries, and the more you practice as professors, as teachers, you come across various tricks and tips to solve a math problem with different ways. So in a classroom, everyone has a different grasping power. What I understand, maybe it's not similar to what my friend understands. So when you put forward these different varieties in front of students, they take what they like, what they understand, or what they can easily follow. So by doing this, maths become an open atmosphere for them, and they're not confined to one route. That is again the similar problem that is faced when people go blank. They go blank because they remember things. And math is something you never have to remember, because there are n types of methods you can solve a question with. So everything sums up to the factor that how, you know, there is freedom and creativity that comes with maths. So that's all I would like to add from a student's perspective, sir.
Very good. Parthi, what are you studying now?
Sir, I have graduated from Pilani, Dubai campus, and I did my BTech in electrical and electronics engineering.
Okay, very good. Yeah, very good. We have already rejected the concept of the gender, that male is doing good or the female is doing good. As we have already seen here, two of our panelists are female. This is again a kind of misconception and wrong perception among the mind. Everybody can do, who understand the thing well, can produce the thing well. That's the very simple. But people must know there is a screwdriver which helps fixing the watch. There is a screwdriver same screwdriver is fixing the cycle. Same screwdriver is fixing the big machines. The person must know which screwdriver will which fit in my requirement. So that is what the teacher will tell you. That will tell you how to choose the correct tool, correct skill, and correct ideas. The beauty of math is immense, as you have pointed out. beauty of math has to be realized because it has variety of way, as you have pointed out, and you are very right. And you have really given a good description of mathematics. Whoever has given you this idea, he must be himself a very progressive mind of the person, because if you develop a fear phobia, I avoided this point. I was having a question on the math anxiety, and there was a question, where from this math anxiety come? So I did not ask this question because of the constraint of the time. So now, thank you very much for asking good question. We will be continuing on this forum, many such programs on mathematics, why mathematics is important, all these, it is a talent or it is a skill. All these ideas will come forward in the next coming sessions. So you will be invited all the time to attend, and hopefully you will be able to see that what you are saying, we are already practicing, but in a short time, we cannot explain everything. We have to go by the way the panelists take us. So accordingly, it is going on. So I would like now Dr. The president of the program to give us his concluding remark about the program and what he would like to suggest to the students as well as to the panelists. We want to get benefit out of his concluding remarks. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Reyaz, for organizing such a wonderful event. And the topic was really very nice. I have met so many students as well as parents. Most of the time, the parents are very afraid of mathematics, not the students. They think that mathematics is taught just to fail the students. It has no value, nothing to do with the real value problems. So that's why they feel it very difficult. So I have got some points that I want to share with you. First, let's start that why the people are losing interest in mathematics. So we have to start from our school level, or we have to start from the grassroots level. There is a problem with our education system, not with the mathematics. The problem is with our education. But because I am a senior person, so I know so many things. As well as I am an old person, you can say. So I have got some experience. Our education system is not fine in the sense that the teaching in the government school is really very poor in comparison to the private schools.
Right, you are.
Because the main thing is, in government school, in each class, at least minimum students are 80 or 90. These are the minimum one. It can go to up to 120. It doesn't matter. The teacher is assigned is only one. So how one teacher can teach 80 students in just 45 minutes? He simply come there, he simply go to the class, tell them that today I have to teach these theorems and so and so. And in a stipulated time, he tried to finish his course. That's all. This is the duty of a teacher, especially mathematics teacher in government schools. On the other hand, if you go to any private school, you see the number of students in class are very less. Hardly 30 to 40, that's all. And one teacher is assigned. So teacher is now, he can pay attention to at least all of them. He can pay attention to most of them. So he knows which student is weaker in mathematics or which student has got interest. So if a student is weak in mathematics, so he try to create some interest in it. For this, I have a very personal experience because in my city, we have got so many government schools and so many private schools. In one of the private schools, the so-called Delhi public schools. So we have two Delhi public schools here in our city. So I saw their working. So their mathematics students, they are tremendous in comparison to the students who are getting education in the government aided schools. Okay, so this is one thing. So we have to make interest from the beginning. Now, how we can create the interest? First thing is, from the very beginning, you try to tell them mathematics through some models. Just show them some figures, some solid figures, some models will be there. For example, if you are going to prove Pythagoras theorem, then just don't tell them that, well, this is the square, there's one triangle is there, one square is there. So find out the areas and then this will be the thing. Make those squares in practical. Okay. You get the one square, this square and that square. And then by moving some from here to there, you can find out that how this Pythagoras theorem can be proved. So they can realize what is going on. They can see what mathematics is going on from the very beginning. And for this purpose, I suggest one thing, that the school teacher, they must visit science cities. The science city like one in Calcutta. So I have seen their science city many times. So their mathematics section is marvelous, wonderful. If you visit that mathematics section, I'm sure that every mathematics teacher will love to go there. I have made so many photos for that particular sections. They have proved many things, many elementary problems of mathematics through different models. So if you show the students in the beginning that how mathematics actually works, so then they will be fascinated and they will certainly have some interest in mathematics. And as far as people has already told this one, that we must tell them about the application. So that daily life phenomena is missing in our teaching. So again, the things come that we have a limited time. We have this much course that we have to finish in this limited time. So how a teacher can finish the whole course in 48 lectures, having a 4-credit course in just one semester. So he tried to finish his course, nothing else. He never cared that he can give some application or like that. My suggestion is that, and what I was doing when I was teaching all these things, that it doesn't matter that whether the course will be finished in due time or not, I will take extra classes, doesn't matter. But in few classes, I will, whatever subject I am teaching, so I just find out certain applications, those applications which a student can visualize very easily, that, well, the mathematics is being used here. That particular type of mathematics, which I am going to teach in that particular semester, which is going to be applicable here. So once they realize that, of course, the mathematics is a good subject, you can use it anywhere. So then they can have some interest in the subject. So first you try to grab the student now. Have you seen the Madari, what he does? He just shows some tricks and creates a lot of people. Once the people are there, then he describes his shows. So main thing is that first you try to create a good number of students so that they can come to your class. And the main thing is the interest. As one of our panelists told, Priti Bajpai, just create the interest in the student. If you are able to create the student about mathematics, then you are a good teacher. And well, my way of teaching was different, and I advise my younger or suggest my younger student as well, that suppose you have I'm talking about now the undergraduate level classes, BA, BSc or MA, MSc classes, like that. If you are teaching to a undergraduate classes of 50 students, for example, some of the students, they are sitting on the front bench, some on the second, third, and some are the backbenchers. So you are in the class for those backbenchers, not for the frontline students, because they want to learn. They came to study. So if you take their books and say that don't study, okay, they will go from the class and study somewhere else. Hire book from some other friends and so on, because they are meant for study. So you are not meant for them to teach. Second, third row also, don't worry. If you are able to create interest in the backbenchers, then you are a good teacher. So try to make the interest, and that interest can be done only when they realize that the mathematics is really very good subject. Of course, it is, for me, it is a very easy subject. There is no fear. That's why I am here in this mathematics business. But for the students, just tell them, don't worry about mathematics, don't fear about mathematics. It is a very, very simple subject. And just show them some examples that how mathematics can be used in your daily life. And nowadays, everybody knows that mathematics is applicable in economics. Give some example from economics. Economics is not a science subject. Okay? In science, mathematics is there. In every science subject, mathematics is there. So just tell them that how mathematics can be used. And I will give you an example that how mathematics can be used in a very simple mathematics can be used in economics. Maybe those who have taught mathematics to some some management students. So finance student, they know the name of Leontoff. So Leontoff was an American mathematician. So the mathematicians, some clever mathematicians, what they do, because in mathematics we don't have a Nobel Prize. So clever mathematicians, they shift their interest to economics, and then they got Nobel Prize. So what he did, I will give you a very simple example. That suppose you have got two companies. One is the water company, another is the electricity company. Okay. For pumping out water, electricity is needed, and for creating electricity, water is needed. So one output is depending upon the other input, and vice versa. So what he did, Lento, in America, he sorted out 500 public sectors and connect them together. That one input is depending on the other's output, and so that one income is depending upon the expenditure of the other sector, and so on. So he created 500 simultaneous linear equation. Simply simultaneous linear equation. 500 equation, 500 unknown. He take a very simple computer program and solve it by finding out the inverse of a matrix. You can solve Cramer's rule. You can use Cramer's rule to find the solution of a simultaneous equation. So he just find out through the inverse of a matrix, he got that solution, and he got the Nobel Prize in '73 by just this simple mathematics. So just tell your student that this simple mathematics lead to the Nobel Prize. So that's why we are teaching you mathematics. Or you can tell them some application in social sciences, that how the rumor is spreading. We can find out some application in the differential equation, that how the rumor is spreading. For example, in psychology, how the human behavior is changing. Whenever there is a rate of change of thing, differential equation comes into the picture. In our country, after every 50 kilometers, the language is changing. So how the language is changing? Again, we can use mathematics. So apart from these sciences, we have medical sciences, engineering sciences, earth sciences, chemical sciences, physical sciences, or biological sciences, and so many sciences are there where mathematics can be used. So at least when you are, for example, if you are teaching group theory to your undergraduate or postgraduate student, just tell them how crystals can be made through group theory. Just give one example of crystallography, that how in chemistry the crystal formation is there and which type of group is used. So once they know, well, this abstract concept has got some actual application in real life, then he has some interest. Okay? So main thing is how we can develop the interest. So this is the duty of the teacher. This is not the duty of the student. We have to somehow or the other, we have to create the interest, or we have to somehow or the other, we have to fascinate our student to come to the learning of the mathematics. Okay. As far as appointments are concerned, that how the teachers can be appointed, and teaching method, I have told that try to make some models. you show them some models. Even in undergraduate classes, when you are solving, for example, if you are taking a class of classical mechanics in MSc, and you are telling them the Bragg-Stokes problem. Okay, Bragg-Stokes problem is that suppose a particle is falling from a point A to a point B. Both the points are not in a straight line. Then what will be the path so that the particle A can reach to the point B in the shortest time? Okay, or in one sentence, what is the curve of the quickest descent? How one can reach, what is the shape of the curve so that a particle from the higher position to the lower position can reach in minimum time? The answer comes out to be cycloid. Okay, so one can draw a model for this cycloid. You can make a straight line, you can make a cycloid. Now drop a particle or a ball from at the same time. One can easily see that the cycloid will reach if the particle follow the path of cycloid, it will take minimum time. Although it looks that in a straight line it will come a minimum time, but it is not so. So if we can do that through a model, one can understand it very easily. So well, this depend upon the teacher, not depend upon the head of the department or something else. Teacher is responsible for creating the interest. Now, as far as the appointments are concerned, so my point of view is rather different. That in most of the cases, we are responsible for the appointment of a teacher, whether it is a good teacher or a bad teacher. In most of the cases, we are responsible. So my summation is that whenever we are appointing a teacher, first we must see that the teacher should have a very dedication. If a teacher doesn't have a dedication to his subject, he is not supposed to be a teacher. Because if you don't have the dedication, then how you can create the interest in your subject to the students? Dedication is a must thing, as well as the love and sincerity towards your subject must be there. Not only mathematics, that if you love your profession, then you are a successful person. So first try to love your profession. So if you are a mathematics teacher, then you love your mathematics. Whatever mathematics you know, you must know what is it actually. You know each and everything of your mathematics. You know, to know the complete mathematics is very difficult. Nobody can claim that I know everything about mathematics, nothing. But whatever subject you are going to teach, at least you must know most of the thing of that particular subject, so that if a student can ask a question, you can satisfy them. Because most of the time, if a student asks some question, we are unable to satisfy them. Or sometimes we never encourage them to ask any question. If they ask any question, okay, sit down, ask me later on, because I have to finish my course and so on. We say something like that and run away from the question. So don't do like that. The teacher must encourage the student to ask some question, because if you don't remove his curiosity, then how he can get the interest in the subject? He will say, okay, I will not run. Okay, I will get some marks so that I can pass by any mean, through unfair mean or fair mean. I will get pass and then remove this subject and then move to another discipline. I don't like this one. So main thing is that whenever you are appointing any teacher, the teacher must be a sincere as well as dedicated to his subject. He has got some love, and apart from that, he must be a good human being also. Because if he is not a good human being, he will never teach moral to his students. Morals are very necessary. I'm an old person, maybe the new person, they don't know the value of the morals, but I know those values. A good teacher can change the whole nation. So if you are appointing a teacher, be careful. You are appointing a person who can either destroy most of the generations, or they can make most of the generations successful. Because a teacher is appointed at least for 30 years. So for 30 years, he is just destroying the generations. So be careful whenever you are appointing a teacher. So a teacher must be a good human being also. And well, We all know that somebody has told me that some of the panelists or maybe some participant has raised this question that we must have some, rather Dr. Sharif has raised this one, that we must apply mathematics to some other field also. At least we, in most of the, in mathematics department, at least we have 1 or 2 teachers who can apply mathematics to some other branches, so that they can create interest to the students also. Well, in most of the department, either the people are from applied aspects or from pure aspect. So a pure mathematics, they never care what is the application. They simply care about the proof. If the proof is fine, okay, they are satisfied. They never care about it. And the example is that the famous mathematician Riemann thought that he was a geometry person. He thought that the whole Euclidean geometry is available, and the Euclidean geometry is nothing but the geometry of a flat space. So Riemann thought that why can't we develop the geometry of a surface, which is a curved one? So he developed the whole geometry for the curved surface or for the curved spaces without knowing any application of it. So he developed the complete geometry, and that geometry is now known as the Riemannian geometry. So he developed the whole geometry of the curved surfaces. If you want to know how the curved surfaces behave, for example, in Euclidean space, we know that the distance between shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. We all know this thing. So what will be the shortest distance between 2 points on a curved space? So that is also that is a curve. That is not a straight line. That curve is known as a geodesic. So he developed everything. Whatever things were available in Euclidean geometry, he developed all the thing in curved spaces. And that geometry he called as the Riemannian geometry. Now it is known as the Riemannian geometry. When Einstein came into the picture, he thought that we are living in a curved space. The whole universe is curved, because whenever matter is there, the space is curved. So if we want to know the geometry of the universe in which we are living, we must know the geometry of the curved surface. The whole geometry was available to him. So he was very happy person. He applied that geometry to his theory of relativity. So it depends that how you look to the thing. So this is my feeling, that at least 1 or 2 applied mathematics mathematicians should be there in every department, so that they can tell their student that how you can apply mathematics to some other subject. For example, how you can apply the mathematics to some biological phenomena, or how you can apply mathematics in, for example, in medical sciences. Nowadays, in medical sciences, we can have a model for detecting the diabetes also. Mathematical modeling we can do for the diabetic patients and so on. So we must be careful that how we can apply, or where a mathematics can be applied. And nowadays, this is a age of artificial intelligence. So we are using laptop and so many things. So these are all electronic gadgets. So in every electronic gadget, mathematics is used. Nowadays, mathematics is everywhere. So it was a perception long back. It was a perception about mathematics that mathematics is the queen of all sciences. Previously, we said like this, that mathematics is the queen of sciences. Now this perception has been changed, and we say that mathematics is the queen of all technologies, not sciences. So thank you very much. It was a nice program, and I'm very happy to be associated with you. And I shall be available if you find me suitable for any program, no problem. I will happy to help you. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for every participant, and good day, good wishes, and good luck for mathematics learners as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. You have really pointed out so many important points to our audience, and it was good for us to listen from you. You have really changed the perceptions of how the mathematics should be taught, and you have already added some value to to our panelists' opinion regarding the how mathematics can be taught. You have already addressed all those issues. That the central point which all the panelists has been moving was the interest, to create the interest among the students. And how should do? These are the ways and means and methods you have to, teacher has to choose, according to his own knowledge, experience, and knowing the students, knowing the subject and the environment. All these together, you can produce interest among the students so that he can understand. You are also saying that it's not the mathematics which is bad, it is the teacher who can make it bad or good. So teachers, it is that everything is central point is the teacher who is introducing the student to a new thing which is called mathematics. So teacher must be well trained, he must be using models, he must be using the question related to the application to the real life. There is no more time to discuss about this. We will be having many sessions, on mathematics. It will continue by the grace of God, inshallah, we will be doing. But mathematics as a whole is going to rule the world. People has to realize this. Without mathematics, I can say this is the only subject which is oldest on the earth. As I pointed out, that the child doesn't know how to speak, but you cannot give his brother 2 chocolates and him 1 chocolate. He understands that mathematics, that he has been cheated. So it is embedded mathematical ability is embedded. You cannot deny. People has to understand. You cannot understand anything in this world without having the mathematical ability. You cannot. There is a kitchen mathematics also, people to realize. There is a kitchen mathematics, there is a carpentry mathematics, there is everywhere, or architectural mathematics. You cannot skip. You remove mathematics means you have removed sugar from the tea or the salt from the curry. So you cannot live without mathematics. So that was a very good session. Thank you very much to all of my panelists. First of all, you spare your time, and it was a brainstorming sessions, and you have really contributed a lot. Hope that our audience would have also benefit. And thank you very much, sir. You have really enlightened us. We will be always be seeking your guidance, under your guidance we will be continuing to do. Many more mathematicians from other part will be coming in, inshallah, in the next sessions. So thank you once again to everyone, especially to the audience who came, and they have also participated. It was very nice sessions. See you all in my next program. Thank you very much. I will declare closing of this session with great thanks. I'm really indebted to all of you. Thank you very much. I declare the closure of this program.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So,
thank you. Good luck.
So I will be stopping now the recording.